How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees. Big Game 3 win yesterday. Giancarlo Stanton, as Sam would say, Daddy Stanton, had a freaking masterclass performance. We did not know what version of Giancarlo we were going to get in the playoffs. The guy can't run. Stole a freaking bag yesterday and launched a 417-foot freaking moonshot seen from the International Space Station into freaking left center field. I mean, the difference is one swing can change a game with Stanton. That's always been what he does. He stands there, looks like he is going to absolutely murder baseballs, and he was swinging at crazy pitches just a couple of weeks ago, stuff that I don't even know why he swung at it, but the guy's locked in. You can hear it, what he said after the game. You can hear it in his voice, in the quotes, in his performance. He is looking, he is playing at peak Giancarlo Stanton, kind of presence right now, compared to what we've seen in the last couple seasons. This is the version of him that we desperately needed, and the Yankees got him at the right time. This was a pivotal game for the Yankees. They had to win yesterday's game, because then you have to go on the road again today against Michael Wacha, and with Garrett Cole on the mound. I just don't know how your backs are against the wall. You have to win. That was a huge performance from the Yankees, not beating down, really just taking advantage of Seth Lugo when they had the opportunities. He was mowing us down for the first 3 innings, but then Gleyber Torres gets up to bat. He works a full count, makes him go like 10 pitches. Oswaldo Cabrera, can we give him a little round of applause with 3 walks yesterday? 3 walks for Oswaldo. Ryan, what did you see from this performance? I was fine with Clark Schmidt. I thought he was fine. He got unlucky with the Isbell double down the left field line, then another single up the gut. Like, I just don't think that he pitched poorly at all. I actually loved how he looked. I think he got a little bit unlucky with 2 outs. All he needed was 1 more strike. He just couldn't get it. It happens. It's baseball, but I was really, really happy, competent with his performance. What were you thinking about Clark Schmidt and this offense?
So the first thing I have to say, we get to play the song, which is always great. Yankees are up 2-1 the series, and as you mentioned, I feel like Game 3, they pitched well. Like they pitched their what's off. They were brilliant. As you mentioned, the only rally the Royals were able to sustain started with a slow grounder, which that's a tough play. I have no problem with Volpe rushing that ball. You have to rush that play, and when you rush a play, yeah, you make a bad throw. As long as the throw stays in bounds or in the field of play, and it doesn't end up in the dugout where the runner gets an extra base, I don't really mind, and I don't really care. That's fine with me. We'll talk about the play he made later on, because that play he made up the middle, oh my goodness. But the story of yesterday's game was Giancarlo Stanton. That is a bad man when we're talking about the postseason, man. The Yankees had 2 extra base hits in this year, last night. 2. Both of them came from Giancarlo Stanton, and both of them were RBI hits. The RBI double to drive in Soto, the solo home run in the 8th inning. As you mentioned, they kind of got to Lugo early. They didn't really, I don't think they knocked him around per se, but they really rattled him. He was unable to pitch deep enough into the game. The Royals had to use 6 different relief pitchers, and there's no off day. Today is Game 4, so there's no time for those guys to rest. Those guys, the Yankees just saw 6 of their big-time arms. The only guy that they didn't see that's a big-time arm in that bullpen is Lucas Urkeg, who Jazz Chisholm rudely introduced in Game 2 himself to Urkeg with the solo shot. I thought the Yankees had some good swings against him, so we'll see if that translates into Game 4 if the Yankees have to see Urkeg, which even if the Yankees are winning, they'll see Urkeg. Like, there's no shot the Royals in a potential do-or-die game there's no shot they're not going to throw their best reliever on the mound at some point. But I thought the offense, they had a good process at the plate. They weren't able to punch it in with runner in scoring position, but again, they were able to draw long at-bats. They worked a ton of walks. I think they walked 9 times yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. They have 14 walks over the last 2 games. They hit the ball really hard last night. They just didn't always drop for hits. I think of that Soto ball in the first inning. I thought that ball was getting out. The Judge ball to shortstop to Witt in the first inning. I thought that ball was going to drop. The Gleyber ball. I mean, that Gleyber ball that was called foul, that should have been a fair ball, and Oswaldo Cabrera should have scored. The Yankees should have had, they should have been up 3-0 at some point during this game. This game should have never been tied. That's kind of the point. This game should have never been tied, but the umpires. I never want to hear the New York bias crap again. I mean, that was, and even Volpe, if you remember. In that same inning, I think Volpe was safe on a play, and they called him out. And, it was too close to challenge. I think that completely erases the Jazz Chisholm replay in Game 1. I don't know on what planet you could argue that the New York Yankees have gotten umpire favoritism in this series. If you want to say balls and strikes, we have a better framer than them. Salvador Perez, the below-average framer, Austin was a great framer. But, again, Schmidt, I thought, threw the ball decently. The bullpen, I mean, I gotta give a round of applause to Clay Holmes, man, because all regular season, dude, I'm not going to lie, man. If you told me that Clay Holmes was going to be, coming in big spots in the postseason in like mid-September, I'd be like, oh my God, what? Did everyone get hurt? Like, what happened? And he's delivered. He's given the Yankees multiple innings in his outings. He's delivered more than 3 outs per outing. Obviously, Luke Weaver, again, gets a more than 3-out save. Canley did a job. He was very efficient. All those guys should be ready to go for Game 4. And now it just lies on Garrett Cole. So, I mean, dude, for all the positives, I mean, the thing that stands out to me is that they're winning in spite of Aaron Judge right now, and that's something they've never done. They just don't do that. It kind of reminds me of that Houston series where Judge was a non-factor in the first series of the year. He was just brutal for the first 4 games. The Yankees swept the Astros, right? This is very reminiscent of that same of those same kinds of wins. Like they haven't been great runners in scoring position. I think they got a 120 average and a 120 slugging percentage in those situations. Alex, that's brutal, like a sub 400 OPS. But their pitching is coming up clutch, and they've been able to get enough big hits. And again, just Giancarlo Stanton, man, that's an October player. So, Alex, looking ahead to Game 4, man, tonight, you need your 2 highest paid players in Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge to step up, right? That's what you need. If those 2 guys step up, your New York Yankees will go to the ALCS. And I think the thing that I'm most scared of for the Yankees is a short series because, anything can happen, right? It takes one bad call here, one missed strike call there, one unlucky batted ball here. You know what I mean? For you to go from winning a series to going home early. If the Yankees can handle business tonight, and Giancarlo Stanton said this, they have to wrap it up tonight. That's what you want to do. You don't want to force yourself to an off day and then Cole Reagan's Game 5 in the Bronx because we've seen Cole Reagan's. I don't really want to see Cole Reagan's again this year, man. I don't know about you. I don't want my season to be on the line with Cole Reagan's pitching. So Garrett Cole on the bump. You got to win your ace bump days. You have to, and he's got to be better than he was in Game 1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, tonight's game against the Royals for Garrett Cole is a must-win game. Like you said, do not want to be facing against Cole Reagan's in the Bronx. Even though you have home field advantage, the Yankees tend to, look better on the road sometimes. It's almost like they feel like the pressure's off of them. But you know what? Like, this game today, you know what? This is a perfect time for someone to step up. I'm thinking about Mr. Aaron Judge. This is a good time for our MVP to hit a long ball. A good time for him to hit with runners in scoring position. He's basically non-existent right now. He's in .091 or something like that. He's basically a liability right now. And it sucks because he's getting unlucky. Yesterday he had a line drive to Bobby Witt. Should have been a hit. He just barely, by a fraction of a second, misses a home run. Ends up falling just short of the warning track, and it was off the end of the bat. He is so close to getting it right. And when he does, guys, the Yankees are beating the Royals without Aaron Judge. In fact, they're beating the Royals because with Aaron Judge being a massive black hole in the number 3 spot right now, right? He's not. They have men on. How many times have we seen Gleyber Torres and Juan Soto on base and Aaron Judge strike out so far? Multiple times, right? It's got to be multiple times.
To me, at least, I mean, I can pull up the numbers for you now, but the at-bats Judge has had in big spots has been brutal. I mean, the at-bats he's had in the series has been brutal. He has 1 hit in the series. I mean, that's not acceptable. I'm gonna pull this up now. Aaron Judge with runners in scoring position. I think he's had an opportunity. I think in every game with runners in scoring position. I just want to get the exact number here. Let's see, runners in scoring position. Aaron Judge has had 5 plate appearances, runners in scoring position. He has 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and no hits. It's not going to cut it. Ain't going to cut it. Ain't going to do it for me. I'm going to look and see if I can find left on base. In this series, he's left 8 men on base. 8 men. He's left 8 men on base. Can't happen. That cannot happen. And again, the Yankees have a 120 average and a 120 slugging percentage as a team with runners in scoring position, right? So, they're getting chances. That's the great part. They're getting chances. They're getting chances, and if you have a high volume of chances, you could be so unforgivably bad in those chances and still put up runs because you have so many, right? I'm going to reference the Mets-Phillies game from last night. Alex, the Mets couldn't buy a hit with runners in scoring position last night, and it changed because their captain, their best player, their franchise icon, hit 1 grand slam. The Mets went 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position. 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position. And they put up 4 runs. Why? One swing. One home run swing. Yesterday, it was one swing that gave the Yankees the win. It was Giancarlo Stanton in the 8th inning. If we have a scenario in the first inning tonight where it's 2 on, no one out, and Aaron Judge comes to the plate, one swing. It takes one swing to put KC in a hole they may not be able to climb out of. I've been preaching this on Twitter consistently, man. The 3-run home run, the 2-run home run, those are death blows. Those are kicks to the you-know-what, man. Those really, really break a pitching staff, especially if we're talking about a postseason series. The hook that these managers have on these guys is quick, and I want to give a credit to Aaron Boone. His hook has been super quick this series. He did not play around. He went to Clay Holmes. Once Schmidt blew the lead, went to Clay Holmes. Once he felt Weaver was good to go and get the last 5 outs, he did not delay. He did not go, I'm going to try to steal out somebody I don't feel as comfortable with closing the game. Nuh-uh. And I was a little queasy about pulling Canely. Nah, he went to Weaver. He went to his boy. He went to his guy, right? It was a little bit of a struggle, but he got out of it. So, if Aaron Judge... And I say this because he is my favorite player on the New York Yankees, but we have to be honest about the performance he's had. It's not good enough. But if Aaron Judge can step up and do a job, it just takes one swing. It just takes one. That's all it takes, right? You can have a 800 OPS. If those hits are the biggest hits of a series, you're a big-time performer to me. That's all that matters. I just need you to do it in the critical situations. Tonight is a game that I'm not calling a must-win because you can lose tonight and still theoretically win the series, but it's about as close to a must-win as we can get. This is not... Yesterday was the biggest game they've played in 2 years. Tonight is now the biggest game they've played in 2 years. And Aaron Judge needs to step up. I don't care what Michael Walker's history is against him. I don't care what the Royals are doing to him. I don't care that he got, just hosed. And I mean hosed on a terrible check swing call. Look, I have glasses. I wear glasses. Umpires, MLB UA. This is directly to you. If you need a pair of my glasses, I've got my spares right here. You guys can borrow them any day of the week. Just shoot me a call. I'll get them over to KC whenever you need it. But with that being said, blown call or not, he's got to be better, or else we're not going to go very far in October. He has to be better.
And he will be, I think. I mean, he's good enough to be better, and when he does, this Yankee offense is going to step up big, right? We're winning games 2 out of 3 with basically playing without Aaron Judge. Not only playing without him, but him struggling in key critical moments with runners on base. If he steps up today and has one of those vintage performances, like the Giancarlo Stanton masterclass we saw yesterday, that's not an everyday thing. That is a once in a while event. That is like... I don't even know. Like, it's like seeing an eclipse. Every now and then he has a masterclass performance and he dominates. And right now, and of course, if you've been watching Fireside Yankees for many years now, you know that for some reason they always want to do construction right above my head whenever we're recording. So if you're hearing banging, that's them trying to get in my head, trying to talk about this Yankee team. But, as I said, the Stanton masterclass performances come once in a blue moon. You don't see these every day. So we got our masterclass performance this series. We got our chance to finish this game tonight because of it. It happened at the right time. Now it's time for the guy who makes $360 million over 10 years to come in and actually finish the job. Do what he does best and hit the freaking cover off the baseball. If he does that, this team is our offense is going to explode. There's not many teams who are going to be able to put up a fight against us if Aaron Judge is hitting the way that he normally does and the rest of the lineup is taking pitches the way they are. I mean, talk about plate discipline. Cabrera's plate discipline was excellent. Gleyber Torres is, even though he hasn't getting a ton of hits, he's been taking a ton of pitches. I know he had that one pitch at bat to open the game, grounded out, but after that he locked in and was taking a ton of pitches. I think Seth Lugo faced 5 or 6 full counts. That's a freaking ton of full counts to face, and that was all of them happened after the 3rd inning too. They went from his pitch count being 20 in the 3rd inning to being 87 by the 5th, and they really made him work. He lost a strike zone at times. The Yankees didn't chase a single thing. So the Yankees are doing a really good job knocking these starters out early in the game. Getting into the bullpen here, they're having a lot of success against the bullpens. So I think that's the strategy moving forward. Have success. Judge is getting pitches to hit. He's just not there yet. But when he puts it together, we've seen him go through this before. Ryan, I'll say this. You remember earlier in the year when Judge was coming back from that kind of abdominal thing and he was really bad for the first 2 weeks of the season, and we were like, oh man, he's just missing these pitches. He's just barely missing an inch, a split second, and then he goes on to have an MVP caliber performance. feels very eerily similar to that time. And he's just missing on these pitches yesterday, just getting on the back end of it. I think he puts it together today. You know, if I was a betting man, kind of am, I'm probably looking for Judge to put up a home run tonight because I think he's due, and I think he's going to be looking to take advantage of Michael Wacha because they hit him in the first game. Like, he's a hittable pitcher. He's their worst starter in this rotation, and it's not even really close, to be quite honest with you. So I am excited about this. Now I want to shift gears slightly here to, you said our boy Luke Weaver. What a job Luke Weaver did. I mean, he threw like 17 straight four-seam fastballs, mixed in like 3 or 4 changeups yesterday. But the guy was, he dialed up his fastball about half a mile an hour faster on average compared to his regular season averages. And man, he was throwing those high heaters and they could not catch up to it. They were completely baffled. He was forcing weak content, getting them frustrated. Luke Weaver is not, like, he's not scared of the moment, man. He's stepping in there and he's dominating. The best thing the Yankees did was build in a club option at $2 million for next season because he is their closer next year. The way that he's pitching, Clay Holmes, see ya. He's gone in free agency. He's their closer next year. And the low-key guy, and the thing is, they're probably not going to be able to use Weaver tonight because he pitched in 3 straight games, right? He threw 20 pitches yesterday. Who's the guys that are going to step up today? Clay Holmes also tossed 16 yesterday and has pitched in all 3 games. I have 2 guys in my mind. Jake Cousins, Ian Hamilton. Those are the guys that probably end up finishing off this game tonight. You know, what are you thinking about Luke Weaver's performance, but also who the Yankees may lean on out of the bullpen for tonight's game?
So I think the Yankees bullpen strategy is all hands on deck. And the reason I say that is because Weaver threw 20 pitches last night, Holmes threw 16, Canely threw 13. If you get my drift here, these guys should be good to go for tonight. I'm not saying you're going to get 2 innings out of Weaver. I'm not saying you're going to get, 2 innings out of inning and 2/3 out of Holmes. But you got Garrett Cole going, right? You got your ace going. You got the guy, right? You're highly paid, highly touted, storied postseason history. I mean, this guy's playoff numbers. I know that his last start was very forgettable. I know we won that game, but let's be honest, it was a forgettable start. He has a 3.05 ERA and 18 starts in the postseason. He struck out 138 batters. That's a 31.7% strikeout rate and a 6.4% walk rate. In his last postseason run with the New York Yankees, which came in 2022, he had a 2.95 ERA in 3 starts, 2 quality starts, struck out 23 batters in 18 and third innings. This man should give me at least 6 strong tonight. The game plan should be Garrett Cole needs to give me 6 strong, excellent, brilliant innings tonight because then you can shorten the bullpen. And I'm going to Hamilton. I think my top 3 guys. I'm going to Hamilton. I'm going to Canely. I'm going to Weaver. If I have to, I've got Holmes waiting. If I have to, I got Cousins waiting. If I have to, I got Hill waiting. If I have to, I got Heel waiting. Hill and Heel. We got both. We got King of the Heel and King of the Hill. You know what I mean? We got both going. We got both of them ready to go tonight. You know what I mean? So I don't view a situation which, number one, Aaron Boone should look at this start and go, I can't get anything out of my starter tonight. If he can't get anything out of his starter tonight, that's going to be a conversation we're going to have about Garrett Cole. If Cole does get into trouble, you've got your whole stable of guys ready to go. You've got some big time arms, some real ticket punchers ready to go. You got a long relief arm and Heel. You've got your middle inning relief guys ready to go. You got your back end guys ready to go. Aaron Boone should be as soon as he can, right? If it's the 6th inning and Cole puts 2 guys on and it's a lefty up, get me Hill. If he puts 2 guys on and it's a tough righty, get me Holmes. Get me Hamilton. Get me I need the quick hook tonight. I don't need, he's the ace. No. I need quick hooks tonight. I need Aaron Boone to look. I need Garrett Cole to pitch strong so that, Aaron Boone isn't forced to be like, crap. It's a 1-0 game. Or he's not pitching too well. He's got like 3 walks and 2 strikeouts, something like that. I need Cole to be efficient and effective. I need this bullpen to be ready to go. And I need this offense to give us some breathing room. Alex, we haven't played a single game where I haven't been sweating. We haven't played a single game. It hasn't been easy. None of these wins have come easy. The Yankees have won 2 one-run games. Offense has to get it clicking. I know first game they did their job. They scored 6 runs. We gave up 5. Defense wasn't necessarily sharp. But last night, they could have made it 5 runs, 6 runs, breathe, get like a Tim Hill closed out game, a little Tim Hill save action. Tonight, offense got to get it rolling. You mentioned Wacha looked very beatable in start 1. Wacha is not a swing and miss pitcher. This is a guy who can beat. If you see his pitch as well as you can beat him, right? I know he has a storied history against this franchise, but that's against Tyler Wade and Kyle Higashioka, who No disrespect to Kalagashioka. He's killing in San Diego, but when he was here, not a great hitter. At bats against, Andrew Velasquez, man. You get what I'm saying, dude? Like, these grotesque, terrible, no good position players used to play for this ball club, right? I actually like Kalagashioka. I'm not going to be rude. I love Higgy's my dude. But you get my point. Like, this is a better Yankee team than those Yankee teams. This is a better Yankee lineup than those Yankee lineups. Need Glaber to get on. Thinking a Soto single. Little up the middle. And then I'm thinking Aaron Judge. See, Michael Walker's going to throw that changeup, Alex, that he got Judge on in the first inning in the first game. Judge isn't going to miss it. 420, 423, left center field. That ballpark's they're going to be waving those towels, booing Jazz Chisholm, and you're just going to hear a pin drop. I mean, you're going to be like, well, you won't be able to hear anything in that ballpark tonight. You'll be able to hear anything in that ballpark, excuse me, after Judge hits that ball. You'll be able to hear the guy picking the popcorn out of his bag. You'll be able to hear Jazz Chisholm screaming from the dugout. You'll be able to hear the Royals manager picking up the bullpen phone and going, yo, we got to get the guys going. That's what I need tonight. Yankees got to strike early and often, because if Garrett Cole pitches well, save your bullpen, or doesn't pitch well, you can bring your bullpen in early, but you got breathing room. You have to give these guys breathing room. The pitching staff's done their job this series. It's time for the offense to do their job.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, and like you mentioned in game one, Yankees started off the game with a Gleyber Torres walk and a Soto double to left field. They had two men on second and third base, and they didn't score a run. Aaron Judge strikes out, Wells grounds into a fielder's choice, and Stanton strikes out swinging, right? Those moments is what Aaron Judge is built for. Why he hasn't done them in the playoffs, I don't know. I think that maybe they pitched to him differently. Maybe he's just losing a little confidence. Maybe he's just needs to get a little bit a little bit of a groove here. The Yankees traditionally, go up against the Astros after in the ALCS, after the ALDS, and then they're really fighting for their lives because their pitching was so good several years ago. That's not the case anymore, guys. Like, there's no prime Justin Verlander and Framber Valdez and some of these, and even Garrett Cole, elite Astro pitchers. They're not there this year, right? The Yankees, if they win this series, maybe they're playing Cleveland. Maybe they have to be, Skubal, and then after that, there's not much from Detroit. Like, this is a different journey for the Yankees. This is a very beatable journey for the Yankees. The Yankees want to go up against Luis Severino, Kodai Senga. Like, they're not the same as prime Justin Verlander, right? I think that right now, this team has a chance to really turn the page, and Aaron Judge, if they put up a 2 spot in the first inning, the Royals are going to be scared. They're going to be fighting for their life early on in this game. You want to know who the perfect person to have when a team is floundering, fighting for their life? You want to know who the perfect person to have on the mound is? Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is the absolute grim reaper of aces. You want him out there to kill momentum, kill chances. Usually what happens, if you put up a couple runs, the next inning, that's where you're most concerned. Right, you're concerned, okay, they're locking in, they're taking pitches, they're fighting for their lives, right? Because this is what the Royals are. Their backs against the wall, fighting for their lives. Yankees could put up a run or two in the first inning. Garrett Cole dominates them for 4 or 5. They're demoralized at that point, right? That's what we need in this game. Demoralize their offense, demoralize their bats, and just destroy them offensively. The Yankees can suck the energy out of that stadium in the first inning. They have to take pitches. They have to be careful. Look, the Royals have used, and Ryan, maybe this is even a better strategy. The Royals have used a lot of their bullpen. Zerpa, they've used so many arms. They've been churning through them because we've been really taking so many pitches against them. If you can knock Michael Wacha out in the 4th or 5th inning in this game, their bullpen is going to surrender runs. They're going to give us opportunities to win this game. We just have to hit with runners in scoring position. And the only guy we're missing in this equation is Aaron Judge, right? He's the only one we're missing. If he hits, this team is scoring 5, 6, 7, 8 runs, right? It's really just up to him. Everybody else is looking fine, right? I mean, maybe aside from Austin Wells, and that's the last kind of where I want to finish this off. With Austin Wells, do the Yankees shake up the cleanup spot today, right? Do they change that spot right now? Because he's been really cold. Really, really cold. He's going up against Seth Lugo, Cole Reagans, two guys that, against any rookie, they're going to struggle. Or he's going to struggle against them, obviously, being a rookie. So do you think maybe there's a situation right now where you change Wells to the 5 spot, maybe even the 6 spot, or you move Jazz into 5 or keep him where he is, and then move Stanton into cleanup where he can really capitalize? He's so good right now. He's on fire. Capitalize on Soto, Gleyber, and Judge. Is that something you consider doing right now?
I'd hit Stanton 4th. I absolutely would consider hitting Stanton 4th. Are you kidding me? I mean, that guy. I mean, come on. Look, I know playoffs, small sample size, like from a data standpoint. Let me have an honest conversation with the viewers here. Let's have an honest conversation about kind of how data and how you analyze postseason numbers. It's a small sample size. It is. It's like, I think for Stan, it's about like 100 and something play appearances. He's got, 157 WRC plus. That's obviously very good, but it's nothing where you're like, oh my, like, not that it's not impressive, but again, it's 124 play appearances. This is 30 games, right? We've seen Giancarlo Stanton get hot for 30 games, right? So I understand it's not necessarily predictive, but Alex, I'll be honest with you. I trust Giancarlo Stanton a lot right now, right? And if you think about, hey, let's say Glaber gets on. Let's say Soto gets on. Let's say Aaron Judge even just hits a single. It doesn't have to be a bomb. It's a single. 2 on, 1 run scored, nobody out, stands up, deliver a death blow, man. And even if he doesn't deliver a death blow, see, he's going to do one of two things if there's nobody out and 2 runners on. He does have his double play problems. That is a concern. But he also strikes out a lot and hits for a lot of power. And that means if he does get out, usually it's it's like this year's a 38% ground ball rate and a 43.8% fly ball rate. 17.4% line drive rate to go at that. Odds are he's going to hit a ball in the air. With his power, odds are it's going to be pretty deep. Right? So you get my point here. We're talking about productive outs. I feel good about Stanton getting me a productive out. And if he strikes out, he strikes out. Who cares? It's no one out. Now you just pass the baton. Maybe somebody else behind him can make contact. You know what I mean? That's where I kind of am with Stan. He's been so good in October. He's hit for so much power. He hits the ball so gosh darn hard. It's kind of hard for me to sit here and say I wouldn't hit him clean up. And I'd also like to add, if you're Aaron Judge, at any point if you wake up, oh my God, that 2-3-4. The Soto Judge playoff Stan. Oh no. You know what I mean? Oh good God. You're going to be dominating teams. Are you kidding me? You'll be killing pitchers. You'll have the starter out by the 4th inning. And that's a big key tonight. You knock out Michael Walker after they had to use 6 pitchers in like the 3rd or 4th inning. Go get the champagne and put it on ice. Go start wheeling it over to the clubhouse. You know what I mean? So, Stanton hitting 4th, I think it just applies immediate pressure. Maybe takes a little pressure off Wells. Wells, I hope he gets it going because, he's been somebody who's been a big bat over the summer. He was, I thought, kind of brought this team back to life a little bit in the summer. Jazz, he's just got to get a couple swings together. Just got to get one or two. And then for tonight, specifically, too, like I want to shout out Oswaldo Cabrera. I know we talked about him at the top of the show, but, dude, first base was a black hole for the New York Yankees. These guys have played good defense, him and Birdie. They've had good at-bats. Cabrera's looked strong in the postseason. He's hit right-handed pitching. He's had good at-bats. I mean, granted, 2 games, but he's already gotten 3 walks. You know what I mean? He's got a double squished in there. He's getting on base. A lot of the guys, Volpe, I thought Volpe's at bats yesterday, Alex. I was very impressed. I was like, God, hey, this is the kid this is the guy we were promised. You know what I mean? Small sample sizes, of course, not going to get too hung up in it. But if your bottom of the order guys are doing what they're doing, which is just solid. I know Verdugo had a tough night last night, but I'm not criticizing him as much because of that game 1 performance. He did legitimately just win you game 1 of that series. I would consider getting Grisham or Dominguez in there. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but the bottom lineup's doing their job. The middle of the lineup just hasn't, let's be honest here, 3 and 4 just hasn't done their job. Judge and Wells haven't done their jobs. Wells, you put a less pressure, you go, he's a good defensive catcher, he's played good defense, he throws a couple guys out, whatever. You know what I mean? But with Judge, you have a little more pressure there, but you can take away a little pressure from Wells and inherently from Judge if you put Stanton right behind him. So I'm all in on that, Alex. I think they should clean him up tonight, and I think they will. Aaron Boone, he loves Big G. He loves him some Big G. You know he's willing to. So I'd clean him up too.
I would absolutely do that. I think he's red hot. You got to lean on these red hot hands right now. And, as you said, the bottom half of this order, they're taking pitches really, really strong, really, really disciplined at bats. And that's what we needed. That's what we hope for. And listen, if Judge gets going here, it's going to be really, really fun. But guys, always happy to hear your thoughts down below in the YouTube comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. Let's go Yankees at Game 4. Let's get this freaking dub. Bring it home to the ALCS where we'll find out our next opponent next week. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Perfect.